So I'm Kevin Eldridge, the owner, builder of Relentless. It's a Nemisis NXT kit designed by John Sharp. The entire airframe is carbon fiber. It has a 580 Lycoming twin turbo engine in it. We've actually had a fire issue several years ago. A rod broke, the prop came off, and I was able to still land the airplane. But because the turbos are so hot at that moment, even though they tried to put suppression in here, they thought it would put it out. This goes on to the top of the engine and then comes through all the cylinders. That's the very best place to just keep feeding water on both sides. The turbo's just down here, and the resin's so close, they just kept igniting the turbine and the oil. And so they put it out and kind of smolder, and then boom, it'd come back up. So it took several times. The other thing they tried to do is they tried to man off the cowling. And it's 10-bid pre-peg carbon fiber, and so the only way to really get at it is to cut it quickly right through here. You're not going to break it off. It is actually, I was able to just get the screws off and take it off, and then they were able to flood it. So anyway, that's that. We store behind the engine is a steel tank. In front of the firewall behind the engine is a very robust steel tank that stores the ADI, which is 50-50 methanol and water. So it won't ignite, but that does provide sort of a barrier of heat soak kind of benefit. We have a titanium on top of carbon firewall, and then the fuel tank is 89 gallons behind that, but we take off with about 30, and so we don't need much more than that. Inside the wheel wells on the back firewall on each side, and you can probably see it from the other side better, are two 12-volt batteries that are wired in series. So that's where the batteries are stored, again, behind the firewall. Also, the fuel shutoff, we'll show you how you do it in the cockpit, but the fuel shutoff is actually on the other side. It's a big lever in the center, and all your fuel pumps are right here. So really, everything forward is just fire sleeve hoses to the engine. So originally, the kit was for two-place, so this is the only NXT out there that's a single place now aircraft. You basically have a 1/2-inch thick plexiglass, which is pretty strong but typical of kit aircraft. The way you release the canopy is I have this tool right here that goes in, and of course push. It's got a lock, so you push on it and turn, and it pulls two pins. And then I have this always on the aircraft as a quick way to grab it. So it would be like this, right? So we would just pull this out, and it gives you a nice sturdy handle to lift the canopy up. You can see the rod ends here. The pins are going in here when you move this. Very sturdy canopy. And so what I've tried over the years to train the fire guys, and they know the plane, they always carry a big bladed screwdriver because they're obviously not going to make a tool for me, although I've thought about making a few. Works the same way. It's going to go in here. This was actually too big, but the idea is maybe not this big. I grabbed the biggest in my toolbox. But any bladed screwdriver, there's not when you're not flying, there's not really any load in the pin, so you're basically just going to come in and push and turn, and you're free. Get rid of the canopy. So in the cockpit of the NXT, I have this lever right here is a metal cable to right at the bottom of the fuel tank. So when you pull this lever, you shut off all the fuel right at the fuel tank, and so there's nothing going to go forward. Of course, everything is set up over here, so everything down would be you'd catch whatever pump or ADI I was blowing. You just all switches down and everything goes away. This tank right here is purely water. It's got a pump on it from back here, but we just carry just regular water for spraying, so there's really nothing going on there. Good. Back here is a small oxygen bottle that I wear when I'm racing. It's just simple shut off, obviously. It goes to my mask. All right, let's open the canopy here. There's a small restraining cable, but if you threw it open, it'd just be gone, and that's kind of the way it's designed. All right, so I'm in the cockpit here. This is the release for the seat belts right here. Just one pull. And pull me out. So if the plane is upside down, the best idea would be to lift the tail because it's fairly light. It's going to weigh about 150 pounds at the tail feathers. get something underneath of it, and then you should be able to open the canopy enough to release me. And I'm going to stay strapped, you know, as long as I can. If I'm upside down, there's no way I can get out or through this carbon fiber.
Yeah, so it's not